I just saw a video with Pauline Hanson talking to a survivor of abuse. I just want to reach out first to the lady who's abused from 7 to 14. You have my love, and I hope you're doing well. But to Pauline Hanson said, what am I supposed to do? She wants to fight for us, but she needs proof. She needs someone to give her name. She needs information. Pauline, I put my hand up. If anyone has contact with Pauline, send her this video and I will speak to her. I'm willing to go wherever she needs me to go, and I'll sit down with her and I have a cupboard full of fucking documents. I can prove this much. The Homeless Children Association was founded by a senior magistrate, Rob Blackmore. On that board was also the leading privacy advocate in the world, Simon Davies, a Prime Minister at the time, Bob Hawke, 7 other judges, including Shu Shrine. I can name all of them. I have a list of them in there, plus a general. I've convicted 4 of the 5 men in that refuge. The 5th man would have been convicted, but they can't fucking find him. I can also tell you about what happened with Judge Yeldham, who's another judge who I named in that Royal Commission. I named Judge Yeldham and I named Hawke. They're 2 names I gave Rod Blackmore. So I named 8 judges. I named a Prime Minister, and I named the leading privacy advocate in the world. I named the head of NZI Insurance, a guy that worked in the tax department. I named a lot of high-profile people. Pauline, if you want to speak to me, I'm willing to speak back. They shut down the commission and said, we cannot release these names because the general public will lose faith. What was it? Lose in the judicial system. I think the word was faith. I might be wrong. However, all we're asking is allow them to release or unsuppress the files of those of us who gave evidence who wish them to be released. Give us the fucking option. There you go. So rather than releasing everything, just release. We can go in, we can fill out a piece of form and say, I am willing to make my statements from the Woods Royal Commission, the Royal Commission into Institutional Abuse, and the 4 fucking trials, because 3 of the 4 trials, my files were also suppressed. Because what they said to me in the first 3 trials was that the reason we're suppressing these files is to protect the victim. You're not protecting the victim, mate. You're protecting the abusers. You're protecting not the abuser even, but those who are complicit in covering up their abuse. Rob Blackmore, the judge, the leading founding judge of the refuge, was made aware, right? He also worked at Albion Street, Bajura, and the refuge that I was in. In 1983, in January, he was made aware by a guy who runs another refuge named David Leary, who's told him that we were being fucking abused. The general and the judge called Simon Davies into their office and said, you can no longer be the CEO and you can no longer live at the refuge. Nobody came to the refuge to see if that happened. Nobody reported our actions to the their actions to the police. Nobody come and spoke to us children, the ones who were actually being abused. 8 months later, in Grant Morris, who I've had convicted's own words, he said it had gotten out of hand. At the time, in August of 1983, and it was in the paper, they closed down the refuge and they arrested us. We did nothing wrong. They arrested all the children and locked us into Bajura, which is the very court that Rob Blackmore fucking runs, right? Tell me that ain't covering bases. They let me out. Then what happened was they charged me with a fictitious crime, corrupt King's Cross police, put me into Minda for assault and robbery I didn't fucking do. Then while I was under duress and wanting to get out of an institution, they allowed me to get out. I was placed into the custody of my primary abuser, Simon Davies, who I've recently had convicted, and he is doing 10 years in jail. Right? They put me into the custody of his house at 43 Carlton Crescent, Summer Hill, where I live with his mum, his dad and his 2 sisters. And do you know who protected me? The fucking sister. The sister spoke up and said, what the fuck is this little boy doing sleeping in Simon Davies' bed in his room? So then Simon Davies takes me and dumps me into a flat in Glebe, next to the door to the university, whatever the fuck that suburb is. I think it's Glebe, because I ended up living in a place just down from that on the corner of Glebe Point Road and Parramatta Road, which was an old hotel. Pauline Hanson, I'm reaching out to you. If you're fucking sincere, or Malcolm Roberts or any of these politicians who keep saying, oh, there's nothing to see here, I'm telling you there is. I am telling you is. And I have fucking 2 Royal Commissions and 4 trials behind me. And all 4 trials I've been for, I've had all 4 fucking convicted. And do you know what their sentences were, Pauline? The first one, Ken Fogarty, got 18 months. That was Scotch tape. I was not complicit in any way. It was against my fucking will. The second one was against a man named Paul Jones, who had his own little house. He was a counsellor at the refuge, but had 20 other children living with him, including someone very fucking close to me, who he also abused, and he got 18-month sentence, but they all ran concurrent. He got lots of 18-month sentences that all ran side by side. So that's number 2 now, that I've gone through all this battle for to get 18-month sentences. The third one, the head of NZI Insurance, Grant Leroy Morris, he got 2 years, 8 months. What a fucking kick in the teeth that was. Then finally, under the new Sentences Act in 2019, Simon Davies was extradited from the Netherlands. But here's the kicker. The Woodrow Commission was made aware of Simon Davies by multiple people. I would hazard a guess to say over 20 people. And a woman named Annie Crow, who is complicit in my abuse, has been given, from my understanding, immunity for giving evidence to the Woodrow Commission. And she is 100% complicit in our abuse. There's so much more to my story. So much more. There's so many more men that should be in jail, but the police will only go so far or take so many to court. There would be so many more convicted if they just fucking listened to me. I tried to speak up in 83. Sally Ann Huckstep spoke up in 86, and look what happened. So I went silent. But I'm not silent now, and I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared of judges, I'm not scared of police, I'm not scared of politicians, I'm not scared of fucking no one. Not no more. Not when it comes to the protection of children or the revelations of revealing the fucking abuse in this fucking country. If you're sincere, Pauline Hanson, my name's Glen Fisher. Google me. Google the book Predator's Paradise. Check out my current affair interview. I'm rigid edge. I'm willing to speak. I'll stand beside you in front of any fucking person and share my story. And I wouldn't do that if I was telling Tommy Peppers, would I? I am willing to back myself up, and Australia knows I'm telling the truth, and Australia's willing to back me up. And on the January 10th of next year, I'll be marching in Sydney outside Parliament House with as many people as willing to come with me, and I'm hoping that people do that in every state. And I would love to see you there standing beside me, Pauline, if you really are about the people and the protection of fucking children. Because all I want to do, with absolute sincerity, is to make sure that the crimes that happen to me and to my friends never happen again. The last thing I will say, my girlfriend was just turned 16 when she was murdered. 2 men were convicted for that crime by King's Cross Police, believe it or not. They went before the court on appeal before Judge Yeldon. Judge Yeldon set her killers free on appeal. Our country has a lot of skeletons in their closet, but I'm not interested just about exposing the past. I'm interested in changing our future. I'm interested in changing laws so that no child ever is put in a position that I was.
Here from Courage to Secure. It's the 16th of June 2025. I'm in Bunbury. We've just wrapped up the No Wind Turbines rally, and we are at a location for lunch and a presentation from Pauline Hanson.
Australia. Okay, Western Australia, Bunbury. Right. Give me another beer and I'll get it right. So anyway, what I might do, if you want to, I'll take that 3 questions. If there's a topic or an issue that you want me to explain, if I can, I'll be quite happy to. Right, all the hands are going up if somebody will do this. All right, the gentleman. Okay, right. Anyway, that was the last question. So what I just, well, I'm told to wrap up. Okay, you better make it a worthwhile question.
Yeah. Thank you, Pauline, for coming down here. Thank you so much. Much gratitude. My question, I'm quite a controversial woman as well, and I'm a mother as well of 6 children. Like yourself, you're a mother. A lot of this movement for the last 4 to 5 years publicly has been about the children first. It's all right. It's all right, come on. When are we going to use? Come on. Being a survivor of sexual abuse from the ages of 7 to 14, when are we going to have more freedom and more public acknowledgement of the 28 high-profile Australian names for paedophilia that have been covered up in the Heffernan Wood Commission?
Good question.
That's been raised with me a lot about the pedophilia that's happening. People say do something about it. I have not seen the names. I've spoken to Bill Heffernan personally about it, and where do we go from here? Yeah, no, I'm just explaining to you because it's raised with me. And I said, they said, well, do something about it. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? What would you like me to do? What names have you got? No one's produced the documentation to me. And if you think I'm going to go out there and say something about this unless I have the information, I'm not going to. I will be crucified. Give me the information, I will fight for you. I know nothing about these names. No one's produced it to me. Yeah, I know, but I can't do anything unless I have some names and I have the proof. And it's still happening now, and like this, and I've called the Dissent Price and a Royal Commission into the sexual abuse of the Aboriginal children. That's another thing that's happened in this country. No one does anything about it. They shut their doors to it. But we can't, yes or no? Correct. We try to work for the people. I've put out things there over the past and I've got criticised for it. And the whole fact is for my survival and not to be criticised, pulled down by the major political parties and everyone else, if I'm going to do anything, give me the evidence and I know what I'm talking about, based on fact, not on just all innuendos. And that's what I need to do. So I've got no problem about it. I won't back away from anything, but give me the facts. Okay, right, your job. Once again, thank you very much. I hope I've answered your questions. Please be assured, there's a lot more Pauline Hansons out there. They're not redhead like this. They look like this fellow here, but they're dedicated, loyal, and I'm sure. Because I tell you what, those people have been elected under my name, have not done the job. I've got rid of them, right? I'm not frightened to get rid of them. And they have to be there for the people. It's not about just for the political party, it's about there for the people.
Yeah, well, my name's Glen Fisher. I'm the author of the book Predator's Paradise. Yeah, I was raised in the system and then I landed on the streets of King's Cross. My whole life's been plagued by predators, pedophiles, and I lost a girlfriend when I was 15, so I decided eventually to turn it around, and now I've been through 2 Royal Commissions, 4 trials, put 4 of the fuckers in jail, another one about to go, possibly go to jail, and a 5th one by proxy. So,
all right. So Glenn, the next generation. So Glenn comes into the story in the 80s, and I'm unfortunately the 60s and 70s, where I was taken away from my family at a very young age, and it was all the child welfare system that ended up taking my brothers and my sister. And I even found out now that my mum was even taken away at a very young age as well and used as a servant over Wallara when she turned 15. Now, my whole project is to let the government know that enough's enough with this raping of children, in care, in foster homes, all these institutions they say have now gone. Well, it's now just a different name. It's juvenile justice.
Yeah, I do. I have a documentary coming up on Channel 7 called The Rise and Fall of King's Cross. It's a 3 90-minute segments, and I feature very heavily in all of it, right through beginning, middle, and end, I'm told. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up in the near future. Oh, no, I was reading on it, but I would like to talk to what you just said, Kaz, in relation to judges, in relation to my own story. So for those that don't know, I was placed into a refuge when I was 14 years old that was run by 5 pedophile men. The judge was founded by the Prime Minister, Bob Hawke. It was founded by Rob Blackmore, a children's magistrate, and it had 7 magistrates on board. The judge was founded by the Prime Minister, Bob Hawke. It was founded by Rob Blackmore, a children's magistrate, and it had 7 magistrates on board. But it gets worse. My beautiful girlfriend, was murdered when I was 15 years old. Her killers were caught and convicted, got 20 fucking years. They appealed and went before a judge named Judge Yeldon. Now Google that.
Thank you.